Welcome back to the Investor Unite podcast.
If you're looking to ignite your real estate investing, then thank you for joining us with Investors Unite, where it is everything real estate related, and hopefully we can teach you a little something.
Yep. So in today's episode, well, first and foremost, I guess we got to introduce ourselves.
I know, it's been a while, so we haven't posted a podcast.
We don't even know how to do this anymore.
We haven't posted a podcast in like 6 months, I think was the last one.
Yeah, it's been pretty crazy.
But we have been super busy, which is a good thing. So last time we spoke, we haven't owned any rental properties at the time. We kind of just told you where we were at the time with wholesaling, novations, a couple small flips here and there.
Yeah.
But we have grown pretty substantially since then. So a couple big projects, which we'll get into eventually.
So make sure you guys go subscribe, click that thumbs up if you guys want more episodes. But to start off, my name is Stefanie Kubidi. I am a 23-year-old real estate agent and real estate investor. Also do like social media on the side, but a little bit of everything, I would say.
And she's being humble. Go check out her social media. It's got quite the following. But myself, I am Skyler Plott. I am not an agent. I am strictly a real estate investor with Stefanie. And you can see her logo there. Stefanie
buys houses. Shout out.
If you're looking to sell your property anywhere in Central PA, feel free to look her up online at StephanieCashOffer.com.
Yep. Or Stefanie Buys Houses on Instagram, Facebook, you name it, we're on it.
Yes, ma'am. And we started this journey roughly about a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
And it's going pretty great so far.
Yeah, so what we want to talk about, since I feel like our audience may be new real estate investors, we want to kind of touch base on how we were able to acquire our first rental property for only $520. And the thing, too, is, I made sure, I was like, let me check the HUD to see how much we brought to the table, because I know it wasn't a big amount, but $520 for a 2-unit property, that's crazy.
So, it's a little clickbait, but yeah, that's honestly what we had brought to the table.
Mm-hmm.
The property itself was not $520.
Yeah, property wasn't $520, but that's what we needed in order to buy the house.
Right, to acquire it.
Yeah.
So, let's start from the very beginning.
Of how we got the deal.
Yeah.
I think this one actually came from our cold caller, so shout out to her.
Jasmine.
Yeah. We pulled a list for her. I think I pulled a Harrisburg City list or something like that.
Yeah, I think we were just doing small multifamily.
Maybe I shouldn't say the location.
They know where we're at already from the other podcast. We brought it up.
Look, if y'all have any Harrisburg City deals, let us know.
Yeah,
We'll buy that. We'll buy that.
We're all over it right now.
But, so made a list for her. Shout out to Propstream. Propstream is a great place where you can just create, different kind of niche lists, whether that's, tax delinquent, pre-foreclosure,
divorce,
literally
bankruptcy,
anything. And
liens.
I think we probably pulled, an absentee owner list. And then we traced it on directskip.com.
Yep.
And then after that, gave it to her to cold call through batch dialer. And if you guys are looking for any of the services, I'll just leave the link down below so you can get a little discount on that.
Yeah.
But
we hired her pretty early on throughout our business venture. So she's been with us for a year now, or close to it at least.
Yeah, I think almost a year now.
Yeah, close to a year.
Mm-hmm.
And so we've trained her. We do a daily Zoom call Monday through Thursday with her, and it's only 30 minutes long, but it's something I highly recommend if you are hiring a VA.
Yeah.
Just so they can really understand what you're looking for out of their services.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Excuse me.
So, after that, with the training and everything, the next step with this deal, she called the owner, and then I think, was it me or did you follow up with him?
I did follow up on that one.
So sometimes I'll do follow-ups. Sometimes, previously he was doing the follow-up. So you want to explain how the follow-up went?
Sure. So Amira, she goes through and gets these leads. She marks them whether they're cold, warm, or hot. This one I believe she had marked as a cold lead because the guy was open to selling, but he had planned on actually going on the market with it. Because the property did not need too much work, honestly, and he's actually a licensed realtor himself.
Which blows my mind because you never think, nowadays it's you see a lot of wholesalers getting deals from agents, but typically it's
Not if it's
very rare just because they want that higher price for it.
Right, that, and typically the agent's not the actual owner of the property either.
Yeah.
They just have some kind of equity in the deal or
exactly.
referral or something of the sort.
Yeah.
So yeah, I gave him a call and pretty much I'll go through slight rough numbers here. He said if he was to list it, he would want somewhere around the 110,000 if I were to come in with an all cash
I
offer.
didn't even know he was that high.
Yeah, he was at 110.
Yeah.
And honestly, when we were getting into this deal, Stephanie and myself, we weren't too familiar with the area, and I knew that it was a little bit of the sketchier side of Harrisburg, but I wasn't exactly sure. So he was like, I'm going to throw it on the market for 110. Unless you bring me a cash offer, I'd like somewhere around the $90,000 range was what he was looking for. And that's just excluding his, realtor fees, closing costs, that kind of thing.
Right.
So we get a little bit of discount with that price, but nothing too substantial. So I set up an appointment, and I wasn't exactly sure. He told me that he was previously renovating the top unit, which is a 3-bed, 1-bath, and obviously has a kitchen. And then the downstairs, it needed some work. Nothing too crazy, honestly. So I didn't really know what to expect, and I had brought my girlfriend along previously at that time. I was like, just in case, bring your pepper spray. It's a little sketchier of an area. I'm not sure.
Yeah, because I did not go on that appointment, so
No.
I didn't know what it looked like.
So we get there, and I keep almost saying his name, but I don't want to say his name. The neighbor, he actually introduced himself first because I wasn't sure who I was looking for. I knew the guy's name, but there were several people standing outside of the property. The neighbor came up and started talking to me, and then he was like, you here to rent the place? And I was like, no, I'm actually looking to purchase. He was like, oh, I didn't know John Doe was looking to sell.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, we just had a small conversation. He was thinking about throwing it on the market, but I'm just going to come take a look at it and see if I can give him a cash offer that works for both of us.
Right.
So then he ended up coming outside. We met, typical greeting. And then he took me upstairs first. And as soon as I walked in, it had the smell of fresh paint. I was like, okay, this is not bad at all. And he told me that he was in the process of renovating it. So we walked through and everything. There's a couple funny things that we didn't notice I didn't notice at first, and then Stefanie then noticed later on. But, so there's no actual living room on the top floor.
Yeah.
So we counted it as 3 bedrooms, 1 bath, but there's actually realistically only 2 bedrooms. And
it's 2 bedrooms, but you can count one of the rooms as a 3rd bedroom, which we did. We utilized that with Section 8, which we'll talk about Section 8 in another episode, because it's kind of crazy.
We might just touch a little bit, but we'll see.
Yeah. So with Section 8, whenever, the more bedrooms, the more money you can get, so that's why we made it for a 3-bedroom.
Right. Sorry. But this house previously was actually a single family. So that's how it was still set up. All they did was block off the stairs, the interior stairs from going up and down. And then that's why there's no formal living room in there. So I went, walked the place, everything. I was like, this is actually really nice. There was a little bit of a heater situation he was explaining. No big deal, honestly. Yeah. Went, saw the kitchen, and he said he was in the middle of a rehab, right? But everything was completely done. The only thing he had was the paper still on the new LVP flooring.
Well, the kitchen needed to be the cabinets were pretty bad.
Well, no, they weren't bad. The only thing that I had to do to the cabinets was just add the fixtures to them.
No, I'm talking about the first unit.
Oh, I didn't get there yet. We're still on the top floor.
Yeah.
So I'm going through, checking it out. I'm like, okay, this thing's actually completely done. Just rip the paper up off the LVP, throw some fixtures on the cabinets, and it's rent ready.
It's easy, yeah.
It's freshly painted, new carpet, everything.
Yeah.
Right? The only thing is that there's a balcony. 2 balconies, actually. Well, it's 1 balcony, but connected to 2 different bedrooms. Anyways, doesn't matter. That was definitely in a little bit of a rougher shape. Not exactly safe to walk on, I would say. But checked it out. And then he took me downstairs. So I went through there. And that one, you could have rented out, but...
I don't know. I personally probably wouldn't live in something like that.
Right.
I mean...
We want to make sure that our properties are definitely something that a tenant is going to want to respect and treat as their own. So we went through, and, the downstairs is a 1-bed, 1-bath. Once again, full-size kitchen, dining room, everything. That one does have a living room and a fireplace, but the fireplace is currently blocked off, so the tenants can't use that and catch the house on fire. So I was like, well, I got pictures of the property. Let me go back, run some comparables, talk to Stefanie, and I'll let you know where we would stand.
Yeah.
He was like, all right, yeah, sounds good. He was looking to throw it on the market within the next week or so, so I knew that we had to hurry up this process. Went back home, and for whatever reason, all the pictures turned out super blurry, right? So I sent them to you, I don't even know what the heck I'm looking at. I was like, just trust me, like it's good,
Yeah.
like everything. And she was like, all right. And then we started running numbers on it, saw some of the comparables in the area were going for around that 150 price at the time.
Yeah.
We were like, well, this is something that we can make work, right? Because if our initial plan on this was the burst strategy, so it was,
No, well, I mean, I think at this time, because we didn't have any rentals, I think our plan was to wholesale, just to always mainly wholesale.
Yeah, actually, you're probably right.
And I was like, and I think on the phone when we were talking, like just going back and forth thinking what we should do, I was like, why don't we just keep it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's how it went. And then
it was a little bit up for debate in the beginning just because we weren't too familiar with the area
yet. The area, yeah.
Right.
And then the more we went, it was just like, I feel safe.
Yeah, it's like a quiet street.
Yeah.
It's friendly, super friendly neighbors. He's been there for 27 years.
Yeah.
Like, there's nothing wrong with the area whatsoever.
Yeah.
So there's no off-street parking, but the road's wide enough where you can fit cars on both sides. Like, no trouble. So, yeah, I mean, we decided to keep it, and then from there it was just going through finding a private money lender because we didn't have one of those yet.
Well, the tough thing first was just making sure we get the right price, because I know you and him were going back with negotiations.
Right.
And then, so he was at the 90 price,
yep.
And then we were running numbers, and then I remember you having me hop on the phone, and then I was going back and forth with
you. I was so surprised with how stern you were.
I don't even know. That was the Holy Spirit speaking through
Yeah,
me.
that was like, Stefanie is usually like the nicest person on the phone, and like
I was
she's
just, like straight to the point.
Yeah, she was like usually willing to compromise, have some wiggle room there. And then we were like, our number was 82.5, and then he was like, I was really hoping to get 88.
Yeah.
And Stephanie's like, no.
Yeah, like
it's like flat out. Like
at first, I was thinking, I was like, maybe like let's hop off this phone call, we can talk about it, and then go back to him. But then I was like, no, this is fair.
Yeah.
That's what I said. I was like, this is fair. We're paying your closing costs. This is our price. I was basically like that.
Yeah, she was doing good.
And he said yes on the phone, or did he come back?
So we were on the phone for like 20 minutes going back and forth on that, because he was like, I gotta talk to the wife and everything. I think you were like, is she there with you? Like, bring her over. Like, talk to her real quick.
Something like that.
Like, while we were still on the phone. And then I think we did have to hang up, and they discussed it for maybe like 10, 20 minutes. We got a call back like right away. They were like, okay. Like, we'll take your 82.5. Like,
yeah.
Sounds good. Let's get to work.
Yeah. And guys, just so you guys have a little backstory, so repair costs of what we budgeted was $15,000.
Right. So, oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No. I was just gonna say also, like, so after we had the number, like set in stone, we sent the agreement over. Then that's when we went to go find a private money lender. We didn't worry about the private money lender first, because we knew whenever you have a good deal, the money's going to come.
Right.
So I was like reaching out to so many investor friends, like, hey, we need someone. Do you know anyone? And then we finally got someone. They went through our like financials and everything, and they're like, you guys are good to go. We'll lend on this deal 100% financing. So they funded the rehab and the purchase price.
Yeah, I think coming to the table, we only needed 1 point. Was that what it was?
So our thing was 11% interest and then 2.5 points.
2.5 points. Okay.
Yeah.
So same terms you give us now, pretty much.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So yeah, I mean, we came up with that, and then just to show you kind of like how a burr would work, just like as simplistic as possible, you take the ARV, the after repair value, which we had ran comps and estimated to be about 150 at the time.
Now it's probably at like 170.
So yeah, we had new comps pop up since we bought the property.
Yeah.
And then showing us that we're able to get, that higher price point, which, I mean, it's only beneficial for us. So let me break out the calculator real quick. So let's say the property at the time we were estimating to be worth 150. Typically, when we were running the numbers in the beginning, we have always heard to run it at 70%, because that's typically what the loan to value. Typically around 70%. But after talking to several refinance experts, they go up to 80 pretty often. So we'll just
depending on your credit, you gotta have good credit.
You gotta have good credit.
Yeah.
Right. So you do 150 at 70%, it comes out to 105. So we knew that was our all-in price.
Yeah.
So we purchased it at 82.5 after closing costs and everything. I think we were roughly around 87.
87.5, yep.
87.5.
Yeah.
So we take that 105 minus 87.5. That leaves us a rehab and holding cost of a total of $17,500. Right. So in the beginning, we were up for debate on what to do. I knew that we both knew that the bottom unit needed some work done to it.
Yeah.
Nothing too crazy, but just like a fresh coat of paint, a real cleanup. And at the time, I was like,
what we did too is like knock down the wall. So me and my dad, we literally knocked down the one wall. Sometimes, I know a big investor was telling me, sometimes you want to do the work yourself, not like the electrical work or, stuff like that, but like demo work or even like painting, just so you can save money.
Able to handle.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's what we did because we wanted to stay on budget, save money, even though we went over budget on this one.
We'll get there.
But yeah, go ahead.
Right. So we knew that we had 17.5 to play around with, and if you account the 11% interest, then it takes away from a little bit, and we didn't know exactly how long we'd be holding this property until we refinanced it.
Yeah.
I think we estimated probably around 3 months or so. What our main concern was actually just the kitchen, where Stefanie had mentioned that we had knocked the wall down. But the initial setup of this house was very odd. So it was a walk-through dining room into a kitchen that was, no joke, probably like from this wall to about here. Like pretty much like...
They can't even see your arm.
Probably like my wingspan. So it's like 6 feet or so.
Yeah.
And then it was like it was wide. I mean, the width of the house itself.
Yeah.
Oh, we're like, this just feels like really closed off. They did have windows on either side. They're kind of like cool. They like had some character, like arch windows and they had games and everything. Besides the point. But we were like, this is really closed off. So what if we take the walls that separate the kitchen and the dining room, where a typical 32-inch standard doorway was before? And we were like, what if we just take that and completely widen them, right? So knock it out like another 2 feet on both sides. And that would just give the appearance of being more open concept and just kind of bigger overall.
Yeah.
So Stefanie and her dad went through and did that. It was, from what I heard, quite the headache.
Yeah, it was something. I think that made me, I was like, I'm never doing this again, but we're still doing, like, I'm doing stuff now, you know?
And I'd say the main reason for that is it wasn't typical drywall. What it was, this house was built in the early 1900s.
So plaster.
They use plaster with the metal mesh that goes through the walls, and then they don't have, like, the little thin... I don't know the correct verbiage for any of this stuff. We're not contractors by any means. But you know how like they typically have like the thin strips of wood that go across?
Yeah.
But this one had like huge planks.
It was crazy.
It was like, yeah.
If you get hit with one of the plaster, like you're going to have a concussion. Literally.
Oh my God. You remember I bounced my head off the corner of that cabinet? Oh my God. That hurt so bad. Bro, my tongue started like... Oh my God. I was about to yak. Like, it was horrible.
It's hilarious.
But... So anyways, they went through the headache of doing that. Stefanie ended up stepping on a nail that went through.
I had to go to the ER. It was just horrible. Blood everywhere. It was so bad.
So most people don't talk about this kind of stuff, but you know, things you could experience.
The stuff you got to deal with.
Definitely as a beginner. So these are some things you're going to end up doing. All in all, it turned out really well though. We got a new contractor that we haven't worked with in the past.
Yeah.
So the previous contractor we worked with, he did Stefanie's first flip ever, and that was the guy that we initially thought we were going to go with until...
He did help with the first like bottom unit, with like the cabinets and stuff.
Oh.
But then we had another contractor do like the deck part, because with Section 8 we needed other things like done, like since they're super strict, which we'll get into that in another episode. But yeah, I mean, overall it was a great process, but it just blows my mind that like $520 for us to be able to afford a $100,000 home.
So
like,
where does that $520 come from? So they know.
That probably came from just wholesale deals.
No. Not like where did we get the $520 from? What did the $520 account for? Like why did we have to bring that to the table?
Oh, so that's just like closing costs on our end of what we needed. Yeah, I don't know exactly like what it was on the HUD. I would have to look it up. But yeah, that's just for us to close on the home. If we would not bring the $520, we don't have the home.
Yeah.
So the other thing is we still do have the interest payments of $944 each month, but we got our unit rented upstairs for $1,375, so that already covers that. But we're getting ready to refinance, so this thing is going to be a cash cow, which is funny because the picture is a cow.
Yeah, you guys can't see it, but there's a cow over there.
Yeah.
So yeah, little more information.
With the time.
All right, let me close this out real quick. Pretty much our cash flow on this one. So after doing a refinance, let's say it appraises at that 165 price. We do 70% LTV, loan to value, we'd be at $122,500.
Like our mortgage will, like I was just talking to the guy, so our mortgage will be either 1,000 or 1,100, depending on if we want to do 75% or 80%.
Right.
So with our top unit being 1,375, and then our bottom unit with Section 8, we're probably gonna get. Let's do minimum like 9. Let's say 900.
Oh, it's gonna be more than that.
You think more?
Yeah, I'm thinking at least 1,050. It's kind of where I was.
Okay, I'm gonna put 1,000.
Oh, let's do 1,000. Yeah.
Okay. So then 2,375 minus, let's say,
1,000 for the mortgage.
1,000 for the mortgage, and then that's also taxes, insurance, and everything included.
Oh, really?
Yep. Because without taxes and insurance, we're around like 8 something.
Okay.
Yeah. So our cash flow is literally going to be like 1,375. You divide that by 2, we're looking at $687 a unit.
Right.
And that's insane because typical investors, they shoot for $200 a unit. So this is like above and beyond.
Yeah, this is triple what the goal would be. The other great thing about this deal is that not only are we pretty much $0 into the deal, we're actually getting paid once we refinance to even own this property. So not only were we making money every single month, but we're getting a decent check. We're not exactly sure how much because we haven't refinanced it yet. But we're getting a decent check as soon as we do go to refinance it. We don't have to actually bring money back to the table.
But if you want to know how much we make sure you guys go subscribe.
Stay tuned. But that was a pretty broad
type of episode. I mean, we're just being straight up honest how we were able to
our first rental
acquire our first rental property for $520.
$520.
And some change. Maybe it was like 37 cents or something. Like literally, it's.
Anybody can do this. You just go out, you find the right deals, the money will come to you.
Yeah.
You make sure you run all your numbers properly, make sure that you'll cash flow, make sure that you are no more than 80% into the deal all in, and you're basically got a free house at that point.
Yeah.
So stay tuned because we did even a bigger project, which we'll get into in a later episode.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you for joining the Investors Unite podcast.
We'll see you on the next one.
Peace.